Since Steve Jobs joked about it back in 2007 that who requires a stylus when you can just use your fingers.
Based on the geo-blocking, you can download the phone, download the app, and then use it.
Yes,
right?
here it's
especially
possible.
especially if it's a Qatari app.
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I did buy my 25 for a cheaper price.
Yeah, you got it for cheaper.
Yeah, but you're gonna get your 24 for much cheaper because it's not discontinued. It's still continued.
It's continue. You get the update for the next 7 years. So Samsung
S25, the latest in the Samsung long line of Galaxy series.
And I hate it. Thank you for watching.
And the podcast is out. Really? That's how you started? That's how you started?
Yeah, it's a joke. Okay.
Alright, so I have been an Apple user for many years.
Which was your smartphone when you began with?
BlackBerry.
Okay.
Alright, so I first started with BlackBerry. Then when the iPhone came out, a lot of things changed. Became a bit of a money saver at times.
Okay.
That's when the iPhone first came out.
Sure.
More applications,
Security.
more security, less subscriptions here and there because you needed 2 different subscriptions for the BlackBerry. Very became simpler. The newer phone at that time, we thought touch phones were a novelty.
Yeah.
No one would use them. Now, everything is touch. Everything
yes.
is a touch phone. Everything is a smartphone.
That time we kind of give credit to Steve Jobs that he was a visionary.
Yeah.
And he saw the right thing with the touch thing because before that QWERTY keyboard was everything.
He didn't just.
We had communicators.
Yeah.
We have QWERTY keyboards.
Yeah.
Every phone was keypad based.
Yes.
But then he introduced with the introduction of iPhone. Just went outside and Nokia was the biggest company that faced the problem and they didn't go that way on the correct time.
BlackBerry 2, which sold in 2012, then became Android.
Yes.
Yeah. Afterwards, here's the thing. The phone wasn't just the iPhone was not just the one thing that Steve Jobs introduced. He introduced a market. He introduced a market of applications. Okay. The App Store.
Yes,
So he gave developers a chance to develop applications, companies to develop applications to make everyone's everyday lives much simpler.
Yeah, easier.
Which happened. This was literally the beginning of the revolution of apps.
2007.
2007, right?
So you started using it. You were a loyal customer of Apple
for about, let's say, 12 years.
So how normal did you change your phone? The frequency of
every
your
2 to 3 years, depending on how old my phone has gotten, how different it seems. I actually prefer large phones in general.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So when
it's easier to operate.
So when I got the 6 Plus,
it was a big screen.
It was a big screen. It was very nice. I actually liked it. You know, memory was nice. Everything was good about it. The
only problem was the bend.
When that phone came out, it was the first thing they noticed because people put their phones in their back pockets, in their back pockets, in their normal pockets. But what they do is they wear with jeans and they run with it and stuff like that. For us, because we wear thobes, we got very loose pockets in here. You can easily put your phone inside your pocket and you would not make it so tight around it.
Okay, so right now, this happens when Apple launches a new phone, the old one gets kind of slower.
Yeah.
Was this the same problem back then when you were switching to phones?
When I was switching to phones, I was switching primarily not for the rather for convenience and wherever I can afford it.
Okay.
It took me about a couple of years until I can afford a new phone, or I want to change a new phone because I never noticed differences, which was very common in Apple until today. Let's be honest.
Very minute differences here and there.
Minute differences here and there. Though recently their 16 has been said to be able to shoot a music video. I really don't care.
Yes, no one cares.
No one wants to shoot a music video. I don't want to shoot a music video using my phone.
Yeah, your taste depends on every individual. But per se, it's not a big thing for me too.
So until 2023, I saw that the Z Flip was getting attention.
And it was something new.
It was something
Fresh.
new. Yeah. For a while, I always wanted flip phones, but their technology was not.
That developed.
It was not, smart technology. It was old technology. Mostly, there were Chinese phones that were Android based and had some stuff here and there. But all in all, the flip phones were not good technology.
Okay.
Now, when the former Z Flip came into the market, right, it had bad battery.
Yes.
All right, maybe good camera, good-ish camera.
The initially when they launched the Flip and the Fold, the chipset they were using was quite an old generation. But that we can say because they were doing the research and development, it was in developing phase.
So even though they put them in the market,
it was an old processor they were using for the old generation.
So we're still just doing as a prototype, even though they put it on the market.
Yes.
Damn, that's kind of risky.
So that's what backfired. Even now, because of this, the Z Flip 7 they have pushed the announcement date right.
Right. So when I got the Z Flip, it was nice. It was a good novelty phone, right? I liked how it was compact.
Okay.
Yeah,
form factor was good.
The fold and flip factor was good. It was protecting the main screen. You were able to notice your notifications on the cover screen.
The best part was that you can operate everything from it.
You can watch a movie. You can listen to music. You can answer calls.
Some people even play games PUBG on that screen. So it was something new and refreshing. So people were switching to that.
Yeah.
But then you moved on to S25 Ultra. Congratulations on that. You bought it.
Yeah. Got the S25
Ultra.
Ultra.
Been using it for a month, half a month now. Since 2nd of February.
2nd of February. I'd say 2 weeks.
So he's been using it, and we'll get an update about it. How's
as you notice,
experience.
you got the 3 cameras here, and you got the curve here. Right, as you notice, it is an actual Android phone. It is Samsung. All right, S25 Ultra, 512 gigabytes, completely immersed with AI powered with Galaxy AI. Not to mention Gemini. which replaced Google Assistant. I actually got a pretty good offer a few days ago.
Yeah, you told me about it. It was pretty good.
6 months off. For a 2 terabyte Google subscription, which was nice.
Plus the price that you got.
It's for free for 6 months plus the price. It's exclusive for actually Samsung Galaxy users, so it's a pretty good deal. But I'll say that based on pricing, it was kind of expensive.
Yes.
So I had to say, find any way you can do to actually save money on the phone. It is pretty much so far slightly cheaper or slightly as expensive as Apple phones right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree about that. And you're not getting what you pay for.
I mean, in terms of the Z Flip, when I got it, it was okay. It was a nice introduction.
Okay, it was a flip phone. You can ask for expensive one because of new technology, something new in the market.
Yeah,
you're getting a novelty out of it. Agreed.
And recently, phones becoming having AI.
Yes,
is becoming the.
It's part of your day-to-day driver right now.
I can literally tell Gemini right now, call my wife.
Everything can be done by AI.
Call my wife. Yeah.
So these things have been offered by all the players in the market at the moment. So, using a Flip before, now shifting to S25.
Yeah.
What are the major things that you have seen implementing in your life and using on day-to-day?
Well, I'm forgetting how to flip and close and flip the phone. That's one thing.
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. Every time I close a call, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah.
That feels good.
Oh yeah, that feels good. The feeling of closing the phone on the guy, you feel like you feel closed on.
If you're venting out, then it feels good.
Yeah. So that's how they used to do it, back in the day, during the times of when the flip phones were. The
Moto Razr, when we had the old one.
Oh man!
Speaking of Razr, the new Moto Razr is also very much good right now in the market.
I've seen that phone, and honestly, I have to say, it is, in terms of the cover and the frame rate and everything else, it's much more better than the Z Flip. It's
much more what you pay for the quality.
As a flip phone, it's much better,
and it's cheaper than Samsung.
Which honestly pissed me off, honestly, even more. But I actually went with much more convenient.
Yes.
Google was more convenient
Towards
towards
Samsung,
Samsung. Right, so I went with Google.
That's why I prefer more, because Samsung has that another part of the market where people like blindly they can choose Samsung, that nothing bad will happen. It's kind of, they have made their goodwill in the market.
Well, yeah, there were some controversies back in the past,
but they
regarding batteries.
They have
but
played safe, and now they are moving forward.
of course.
Okay, so now I want to come on S25 Ultra.
So now, as we discussed my background, all right, now we're going to compare some of the other phones, which could be compared in terms of size, specs, price, and storage. All right.
So we can compare right now. See, last year, everybody was saying that S24 Ultra was the best phone there is.
Right.
Okay.
They were slightly disappointed.
It has the best processor. It has the best camera, best AI generation, the photo processing. Everything was on point. Right. Now, what Samsung tried to do is they wanted to play safe. What they did is, as per my opinion, it can differ from people to people. They kept the processor as per the times that it's happening. Trust me, the chipset that they have used this time is the best in there is. But the costing that they are charging people is much more than that the other players in the market are offering. Like Vivo, Huawei, Honor, they are giving you the same specs or a nearby to it at a much cheaper price. So what Samsung could have done, they have done some pricing lower to them in compared to this phone, so it can give some good competition. Another way, first I will discuss the plus point of Samsung S25 Ultra.
Yeah.
The good thing. The processor.
Yes.
Okay. Snapdragon 8 Elite. Designed for Samsung.
Yeah.
The other Elite chipset that you will get in the market is a generic one, which you can apply for anyone. For Samsung, they have developed it separately, so the AI integration which you are feeling is much better on your Samsung S25 Ultra. Because that chipset is designed for this. So the Antutu score, the processing is on point.
Not to mention the AI gets actually access to my calendar, so it gives me a brief of today.
It's like your personal butler.
Yeah, it gives me a brief on my morning schedule and the brief on my tomorrow schedule late at night.
Okay, wow.
So
that's amazing. So you can plan your next day today.
Yeah.
What you're going to do.
Exactly. So it's kind of great that it's able to make my day-to-day life much more easier. But do the other phones, the other companies provide the exact same services?
So see, the Gemini is developed by Samsung for its phone.
Right.
So this is something that Samsung has mastered itself. The plus point with Samsung was they did this before in S24 Ultra.
Right.
So they have enhanced it to a much better level in this
Wasn't it originally Google Assistant?
Google Assistant was developed for Google, and now it is selected for Google services.
Because now you can get to choose between Gemini
and Google.
Right. So but if you choose Gemini, it's much better for you. It's the phones.
Yes, it is. It is particular for Samsung.
What was Apple's called?
Apple
Intelligence.
Siri.
Apple.
Siri.
No.
Apple Intelligence. Yeah.
Apple Intelligence.
Yes.
Siri is the Apple Intelligence.
So they have developed for themselves. So the Samsung, they have made
very original name, by the way.
Congratulations on that.
Apple Intelligence.
So yeah, so the chipset design is on point.
Yeah.
The screen, like they have made a double coating on the screen.
Yeah.
So the glare that before you used to face, it is much lesser. So in
Here,
sun,
why don't you describe it while you're
in sun? If you are sitting in a brighter area, the screen is, I think 2,700 nits.
Here's the thing I've noticed as well. You're able. I don't know if you're able to do this.
2,600. Yeah.
You can actually increase the resolution of the phone.
Yeah.
But it will.
It will set it accordingly to the task you are doing.
There's also something else. The battery of the phone will definitely diminish.
Yeah, it will be utilized much better since it is keep on changing.
It will use more battery.
The application that you're using.
No,
so it will fluctuate from 0 to 90 or 120 hertz.
Oh yeah.
So as per your task that you're giving or something.
I've seen a couple of videos on it. Actually, it's much more smoother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the best screen available in the market at the moment from all the smartphones.
The S25 Ultra.
S25 Ultra has the best screen. They have actually integrated the software so well that the 2600 nits that the brightness this gives, no other phone can process that.
Keep in mind, we're reviewing the phone. We're not sponsored by Samsung.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Samsung at all. This is purchased from his hard-earned money.
Yes.
Okay, so second best thing about it is the screen. They've also increased the size from 6.8 to 6.9. So the body to screen ratio is much better now. It is much flatter. The side edges, they have curved it, so it's much more grippy to hold, and it won't fall from your hand sometimes when you are slippery or something.
Does the former model and S24 fall that way? Keep in mind.
I'm using an S22 Ultra, so I have this as the much. Just for a comparison, this is much boxier than this one.
23 and 24 have the same design.
Same design. So 25, they have made it a little curvy. They have gone old school, like before they used to have the Note series. It was.
I noticed.
So that's why they have, which was a good thing because it's much easier to use and handle. Since the screen size is much bigger, so it's easy to operate.
Now we mentioned this before the podcast that the S Pen
is merely
plastic.
The coming on the cons. The thing that was biggest letdown for me was the stylus. Since Steve Jobs joked about it back in 2007 that who requires a stylus when you can just use your fingers. S Pen was the edition that it used to bring on the Note series. Obviously you have the S25 Plus and the Ultra. A person will go for Ultra if you want a pen or a bigger screen.
I think there were at times there was something called a Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot. They used to have a stylus separately just sticking outside.
Yes.
So Steve Jobs joke about it. Who wants a stylus? You can.
He wanted to take it out.
Yeah. So now Samsung had made Steve Jobs' statement correct because this is not just a piece of plastic. You can't use any gestures or anything. And since it does not have any conductor inside, it's just a piece of plastic right now. There's no coil inside which charges the pen when you stick it in your phone.
Some reviewers have actually
used the S24 Ultra pen on the S25 and it doesn't work.
Not to mention they broke the pen.
And we saw the coil inside. So S24, S23 and S22 has it. S25 doesn't. Now rumors has it that they might go and sell out S Pen separately. So that's a rumor. So I can't say 100% about it. But this was the biggest letdown for me because as a person, I've been using Note series since Note 3. I had Note 3, I had Note 4, I had Note 8, 9 and then I had 10, 22 is my last Note right now I'm using. So I am a Note fan. I have been using Note for a very long time now and this was the biggest letdown for me.
Would you say that there's a charging port at this point or no charging port?
There is no coil inside, so your pen can't charge at all.
Alright, so even if let's say I bought an S Pen separately afterwards.
That is not compatible right now with your mobile. So it won't use the gestures. You can use it as a stylus.
But it's still a rumor in terms of the S Pen.
It's a rumor, yeah. They might sell it separately like in the case of a tablet.
Yes.
You have a separate pen with it. You buy it separately.
Now keep in mind the S9 and the S10
tablets,
Ultra
pens charges.
They charge.
Because there is a coil inside the pen.
And it's magnetic too.
So the best part about the stylus until the S24 Ultra was you can place your phone elsewhere. You can use your pen as a selfie stick and you can click photos. You can move between the modes and you can select everything far away.
I actually tried that yesterday. It's actually kind of fun. It feels like I've been in the future.
Yeah, you are like you
ever see those movies where you see this guy, he's using the mouse as a pen or something like that?
And he's just moving around here and there. It's fun and it's quite, it's very helpful when you are going outside for a photography or some group couple photos or something like that. So it's an added point and you're buying a Note for the sake of if you're paying so much, you should get everything. I mean, this kind of thing I didn't like what Samsung did with that.
I mean, I gotta say, if you're planning on like becoming a photographer or a blogger or anything, the S25 would definitely be not your best category for a pen. For a phone to use. People use the iPhone in particular because of its photographic capabilities.
But now, since you have mentioned the Apple for the photography, I don't recommend the Apple because so many people the reviewers have given the review. The
for
Vivo,
the 16.
Yeah, the Vivo.
Yes, Vivo.
Vivo X200 Pro.
Right.
It takes a cake for the camera.
This is the 24 model?
Yes, 2024. It launched in October last year.
Okay.
14th of October.
Okay.
And it gave a very tough competition to all the phone. And in case of just the camera, the modules that they have used is quite on top, and it's beating Apple any day. So people, because see, these companies are China in the end. Okay. So people don't kind of have trust in them. Plus, you don't get many services in other parts of the world.
And not to mention, there are some countries where certain big phone companies are banned.
Hence, they change the name of the company and they launch themselves there.
Recently, I think Indonesia banned Apple.
Yeah.
And other countries banned maybe Samsung or not. Yeah.
So this happens geopolitically. This happens. So this was kind of a letdown for me.
The phones are geo-blocked basically.
So you
can't. It's not. You cannot use the phones. You cannot get the phones.
Like when you
can you use the phones in the country?
I have seen one video on YouTube the other day. It was saying that.
Sorry, just to. So since we're talking about the geo-blocking in general,
that's what I'm going to.
So before we keep going, but just remember that point. All right. If I take an iPhone or a Samsung phone to a country that's already banned it, can I still use its services?
You can use the services if you're using the service from that particular country.
From the country.
Yeah.
So
if you want to use the service from that particular country where you're staying, you can't.
So we did mention before that there are countries that have its own YouTube.
Yes.
All right. So
their own TikToks, their own Instagram, their own application. So you won't be able to use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
In China, for example, you can't use WhatsApp. They use WeChat.
Right.
It's their own developed software.
So even if I opened it,
you can't use it.
There's no network.
There's no network. It won't work at all because it's locked.
All right.
So coming back to geo-logging, if some people see the Vivo is not available in the US, you can't buy it officially.
Right.
So some people are getting it there. But when you get there, it's not working with Verizon. It's working with some particular
Verizon. Yeah.
It's working with some operators, and you can't use the Play Store there.
T-Mobile
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
So you can't use this marketplace because Play Store is not available.
Of course.
They have this separate marketplace, so you have to go. It's a pain to use basically. So they lock it, so people are not aware about these kind of Samsung, Apple. These are the giants.
You know, actually, ever since when I bought Apple, I've always used a US-based store. This is the first time that I actually used a Qatar-based store. When I moved from Apple to Samsung.
Yeah.
You know, how I do it, I use a virtual address. They don't check it. It's not exactly Apple's gonna go to that particular address.
Yeah.
You know, and
so it's another way of using the services. It's legal.
The thing is, it's legal, yes, and you have to provide an address. What pisses me off is I'm not able to use my credit card.
Yes,
unless it's a Qatari-based store, and I don't want to use a Qatari-based store.
Why?
It doesn't have any media on it, no applications that I want to use. I mean, sure, you get the basic applications, YouTube, WhatsApp.
These are the local things.
Yeah, but anything else, I wanna use other applications.
Obviously. You're buying a phone. You have to use the applications for that you're buying.
Well, I'm glad that at least the geo-blocking doesn't always get our apps not available in
Qatar.
Like let's say if you're getting a based on the geo-blocking, you can download the phone, download the app, and then use it.
Yes,
right?
here it's
especially if it's a Qatari app.
Yes, sir.
All right. Even if your account is
from other countries.
is regioned to US or UK.
Yeah. You can still use it.
You can still use it.
But for example, if you can have an application Netflix and Amazon, there are some movies which are banned in particular part of the world. You can't watch it.
Well, that's why Netflix and Amazon Prime Video in particular, you know, their basis on the region. All right, so your Netflix changes based on
the region you're watching it from.
Yeah, you can log in.
But you can't see the content that people are watching in the part of the world.
Yeah. So I like if I go to Italy, I'll watch the content of Italy.
Available there, yeah.
Yeah. Which also means that Arabic subtitles are not available there.
Not available, yeah, as per the location.
Oh yeah. So
coming back to
you mentioned that Vivo is a subsidiary.
Yeah.
Which company? What's the parent company?
I think this is owned by Huawei.
Huawei.
Yeah, okay. And there are separate subsidiary companies in this channel. So what they do is they have to cater for all the parts and the community of the society, right? There are rich people, there are middle class, there are low people. So everything is planned accordingly. Like for example, like the other day I was discussing with you, Samsung.
Yes.
They cater to all the parts of the society.
Yeah, we mentioned before that the Samsung has 3 series so far. There are other series in
S, A,
and Z.
And Z.
All right, Z is the middle part.
Yeah.
A is the lowest part, S is by far the highest.
The flagship.
The flagship, that it's similar to the same qualities as iPhone.
Yeah.
If we're going to compare models. Okay. Now Z is middle in terms of it's not as low as the A6
Z is the flagship for folds.
for folds.
Yeah,
But
that is also a higher part. That is also in the higher part. A
Okay.
is the lower part,
Yeah.
and then they have the F series too.
Now
F
yes.
and M.
Now you say F and M are exclusive.
They are exclusive to a particular market, keeping in mind with the purchasing power of the individual living in that particular country or location. Like M series is in the southern, this Eastern Asian countries, the M series is catering to the middle class people.
Right.
Where the necessity, now what they do is, the Samsung, these are positioning themselves in such a way that it caters to the particular demand of that individual.
Right.
Like in India, there's a problem of power outage. So they are giving them battery of 6000 mAh. The person who's using it, the battery is more important to him rather than the RAM that he's using. People in India, they can go for 3 or 4 GB RAM.
So they will sell you a cheap phone,
With more battery, lesser RAM and lesser ROM, like 128 GB ROM.
but when the battery runs out,
That's the problem. So that's why they're giving you high capacity battery.
and when we mean battery runs out, you mean the battery dies completely, doesn't work
the
anymore.
6000 mAh battery, the power, like for example, in your phone, it's 5000 mAh.
Yeah.
It's a flagship,
Yeah.
but you're getting 5000 mAh.
Yeah.
There, the battery is more important for people because they will charge it on a less intervals, whenever, depending on what the problem is in the particular area. So they try
basic
to
usage,
they try to market in particular kind of locations. So they introduce different companies under different brand names. So Vivo is the flagship. X200 is the flagship model for Vivo.
All right.
People are not aware more about it, but since people are reviewing it, we get to know, okay, this model exists. But if I give an option that, Abdul Rahman, you have to buy a Samsung or a Vivo, what you will choose?
I would buy none of them.
Thank you, Khanam.
They
We don't
both
care
suck.
about your opinion.
Samsung sucks,
But-
Vivo sucks, Android sucks, you know?
So what's the best for you?
Reject modernity, return back to
The cell phones.
to pigeons.
Nokia 11.
Return back to pigeons.
okay.
Pigeons.
Pigeons.
Falcons.
Best form of communication.
Falcons.
So we'll take a falconry.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a
Come
falconry.
on, take a Shaheen, you know,
Yes,
let him
sir.
send your messages. That is the best thing, you know, just enjoy life, breathe air, get scorched by some vitamin D.
Nobody can know that you've seen the message. They're not
Yeah,
replying.
like, come on, dude.
Hence why we have private screens.
See? Yeah. You can't even trust your own self, so you have to use private screens.
And we still have the rounds in Qatar post, so we can keep the Falcons there.
And so, like, with the influx of AI in just everything Samsung
AI.
and literally copying Apple, you know?
Yeah, I remember when you sent that
No.
video today. Every single tech company in 2025, AI.
Like, see, this is why I didn't want to join in the conversation because
Because it
it's
would be
things-
AI based.
It's
We are
AI.
talking intelligence.
It's
We
the
are.
minuscule updates that are actually like noteworthy for consumers. Like at this point, this is just boring stuff.
They're
Like
hyping it
just
so
stop.
much.
There's not much.
we have
That's because
AI.
there's not much to do. Everyone is buying a piece of the open source of OpenAI, making it theirs.
Just
the branding.
Yeah.
or
They changed
just
the
stop
brand.
releasing phones. Like actually wait. Like why not be like Nvidia? Nvidia, they don't release a graphics card every year.
They do.
They don't release, like, they don't upgrade their graphics card 1% per year. No.
No, they do.
They take
do upgrade,
3
but
years.
I mean, I guess it's different for
Every year they
phones.
launch it, dude.
It's different for
No,
phones.
they
Yeah.
take. No, they don't.
Last year they launched the 40 series. This year they launched the 50 series. What are you saying?
Ramiz, what are you talking about?
dear.
Are you watching? No, you're not. Are you serious?
Which year did 40
Are we
series
watching
launch?
the same show?
Which
are we watching
year
the
did
same
the 40 launched?
2022.
Seriously?
Yes.
My bad.
My bad. See, and this is why y'all should just stop making phones. Just make it every 3 years. Make it every 4 years. Make your phones actually worthwhile. Make your phones actually worth to be demanded.
No one is
See,
disagreeing
right
with
now,
that.
due to the competition,
And I'm not even
people
talking
are
about
running
Samsung,
fast.
the
They try
whole
to
industry as a whole, because these guys keep making the same garbage every year with minuscule improvement.
I also want to add the amount of tech waste that's on the world because
too
of
much.
people upgrading their phones constantly.
Yeah.
The amount of phones that I have
But we
on my
remove the
room.
chargers from the boxes. We are fighting the environment already.
Isn't there already actually some sort of e-waste thing?
Yeah,
But they don't have them everywhere in every country.
not every country.
But it's
thought
not
so.
sustainable. That's not sustainable. What is more sustainable is just not releasing the phones, but they do not want to admit it.
They want money.
They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. Basically, like, if you think that removing charger bricks is gonna solve the problem,
Yes, it's solved for Apple's pockets.
not
Well,
even.
here's the thing, right?
It fixed no one's pockets.
If they go with Ghanem's idea of like releasing a phone every 3 years,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen is people have time to catch up.
Yeah.
Like people who weren't able to buy the phone on release can buy it maybe a year later, 2 years later. maybe
People
even
can
3 years
actually
later.
try the phone that they're
Exactly.
using.
A year is not enough. A year is not enough. I agree with that.
Mhm.
I agree.
People
Yeah.
can actually use the phones.
Yep.
They can give it a go. They can give it a try. When, for example, and
Or
you
do what Nvidia did. Release a really good phone. The 10 series, by the way. The 1080 Ti is still one of the best graphics cards that ever released
in history.
in history. And if they do that with a phone, that'll take like a long time to be replaced.
Oh, are we talking about the Note 9? Because that was the one.
That was the one.
That was the one.
That was the one.
Fun fact.
No, my when I got my Note 9, it was faulty.
Fun fact.
There was a problem with
I still
the Note 9
have my
Yeah.
phone. now.
Okay.
I still use my phone.
Nice.
I still have Note 3.
Linus.
I have my Note 3.
I never had a Note. I wanted
Linus.
it, but I never wanted it.
Linus still daily drives his Note 9.
Yep.
It's that good.
Linus Tech Tips.
It's still good. It will remain as the best phone ever made in the industry.
No, that's
I agree,
3310.
yeah.
That's Nokia 3310, man.
No. Listen, Nokia was good at its time, but we're talking like
Smartphones.
a best smartphone in the industry. It is none other than the Note 9.
I agree fully.
Don't tell me S25.
And also the
flip-
multitasking, like
Note 10 Plus was good too, man.
No, Note 9.
Note 9.
Note
Note
10
9,
was
bro.
when they went all blazing, gun blazing, and they changed the screen ratio completely.
9.
9, bro.
9.
Why does it feel like you're saying 9 in German right now?
Nine.
You can't say the number 9 without sounding German.
Yeah.
Go ahead, try.
9?
See?
Yeah.
Okay, you're trying. You're actually trying to be German.
Yeah. I was
You're
going
trying
for
to
it.
sound German.
I was
Yeah.
going
Just
for it.
try to say the number.
9.
9.
Just say 9.
Okay, we're cutting out of the conversation now.
Okay. So Note 9 or 10?
Note 10 was for me. When I switched from Note 8 to Note 10, it was a big jump for me as a user.
Okay.
Because they have made quite a big changes. Because if you remember previously, see, we have the Note 10. Note 10 had the chin too big because we had the scanner sensor for the iris scanner in them previously. They switched to the in-screen scanners in Note 10, so that was a big jump for me. as a user.
Iris scanners.
Yeah, and it was quite accurate.
What do you mean by iris scanners? They actually
They
scan.
used to scan your iris. There's a skill. If you see, there's a red sensor over here.
Yeah.
So it just scans your eyes and then your phone unlocks.
But no face unlocking.
No face unlock. It was iris scanning. So they changed it from that to Note 10, and that was a big jump for me. So this is on this basis. I can't decide if I want to jump from S22 Ultra to S25 Ultra because that leap is not big for me. If I want to switch, as previously I've discussed with you, I want to jump from S22 to S24
Okay.
because that development was quite big.
Yes.
It's because of that last year it was the best phone of the year.
You would save a lot of money. To be
You
honest.
save a lot of money. It's quite cheaper now. And fun fact, all the majority of S24 Ultra are sold out.
So you will be getting it for a much more cheaper price because
people are going for S24 Ultra.
Yeah. I mean, I did buy my 25 for a cheaper price.
Yeah, you got it for cheaper.
Yeah, but you're gonna get your
Much
24 for
Yeah,
much
much
cheaper
cheaper.
because it's not discontinued. It's still continued.
It's continue. You get the update for the next 6 years, removing 1 year because it's from last
I
year.
keep remembering they said the Z Fold
Hmm.
6
Hmm.
or 5 was sold for $1,000 in Amazon.
Yes,
Yeah, and I think this was during the launch
of Z Fold 6.
Z Fold 5. No, Z Fold 6.
6, yeah,
Z Fold
5 was
6.
cheaper then.
Yeah, 5 was cheaper.
Yeah.
$1,000.
So that was logic I used, because when I bought my S22 Ultra, S23 launched, and on that day I went and bought my S22. It was 700 riyals lower on them. So if you want to purchase and you want to go a cheaper thing, always go for a first generation preview, because it's not that old. The technology is faster, and since now Samsung is releasing the patches on a good length of years, you'll get a 7 years update and 4 years security patches. So it's very good. And fun fact, this S25 Ultra, they have a debacle about it. They launched the phone in Feb, but the security patch they launched with it was for December 2024.
Okay.
So due to that, many updates were not able to happen properly, and as I told before, there were some glitches with the cameras too.
Do you mean the 200 megapixel?
Yes, the ultra wide camera. There was some problem with the processing of it, but okay, Samsung is a tech giant, so they'll obviously they won't tarnish that image, so they'll work on it. But
so there's a third phone now you want to mention.
I was mentioning this 3. I was comparing most probably because 25 launched recently. S24 was again the phone of the year last year, and X200 Pro, because this was the phone of the year, because people have been comparing it to S25 Ultra. It came last year, but people are comparing it to S25 Ultra basis on the camera that they are providing. Okay. Now, the screen for S25 Ultra and S24 Ultra, they have used the same screen.
24 and 25.
25. It is the same. Just they have made the this Super Armor Gorilla Glass 2. They have used just for the mirror or the protective layer.
Okay.
The quality they have used is the same. So if you go for the display quality, they have improved it with AI and processing. But the quality which they are giving, it's the same. So they are kind of recycling it, what they did last year. So they are playing it safe. They don't want to go like too much into research or too much into development.
Right.
That's why they made a very good impact from 23 to 24. It was a good jump for them. And this time they have only focused on AI.
To make it, the phone was more AI integrated. Then
they developed much more Gemini, they developed it much better since last time. But now they are pushing up updates for the last Gemini. They are patching it up with the S25 Ultra version.
I mean, what are your expectations for the 26 then? If that's the way they're going.
If they will learn from what they have done right now, they have to either push the launch by an year, or they have to make a very good leap in case of the specification that they are offering.
The problem is,
the thing is, just to cut you short, sorry.
Yes.
Apple is a sole player in their market.
Yeah.
But for Samsung, the Android market, it's an open source. There are hundreds of companies that are offering phones. You can get specification. Like for example, I can give example of iQOO.
Yes.
It's a Chinese brand. It just came into existence 2 years back. Right now, they are giving the specification as S25 Ultra,
right,
with the Snapdragon Elite chip. But it's not made specifically for them. But it's an Elite chip, so it's a great chip. And they are partnering up with BMW. They have got that specific BMW branding on. So there are players in the market who can give a strong opposition to Samsung, and they are giving in case of flips and folds. Motorola is an example. Flip from Motorola is the best offer. It's cheaper than the Flip from Samsung. The Fold offered by Huawei and Honor and even Google.
I'd say Motorola is the best brand that is actually Flip as well, and also the better brand to be used in Japan.
Yes.
Because Japanese.
That's what I'm saying. So Samsung, in order to sustain and keep the goodwill in the market, they have to make the game proper. So this is what's your take on it?
On the 25?
What do you think? How was your experience? Since you came from Flip to
what's the last
25 Ultra?
So did you mention the last phone? Because I think we mentioned Samsung, the Vivo phone, and
Vivo and S24 Ultra
and S24.
Because that was the best phone last year. It was the best offer Samsung has given.
Okay.
The upgrade was too good.
Okay, so if you want my experience so far, it has good quality frame rate. It has good smooth resolution.
One thing I need to add more.
Yes.
The good step that Samsung is going right now is they have shifted from the Exynos chipset to Snapdragon.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, the flip that you were using, it was having Exynos chipset. So it was slower in comparison to Snapdragon. So now they have just completely all the flagship they are not using Exynos anymore. The cheaper ones, yes, but the flagship ones they are not using it anymore. So that is a good deal.
So they were not using Snapdragon on Flip 5?
Flip 5, no, it was Exynos.
So
2100.
So I'd say I was going. So at least I did have an upgrade.
Yeah, you had a very good upgrade in that regards. Yeah.
Okay, going from Synops.
So Exynos to Snapdragon. Exynos. EXYNOS.
All right, so I went from Exynos to Snapdragon.
Yeah, and that's a very good upgrade to you.
Okay. I mean,
and it was a double camera layout. This is
the phone. The phone is faster. That's I'll say that for sure.
Yeah.
Right. It can handle no crashes so far.
Nothing.
I mean, sure, it's been 2 weeks, but so far no crashes.
The vapor chamber they have improved 40%, so the cooling is there. It's not heating up that much, irrespective of the climate that we are living in right now. So it's good, but in hot climates it won't heat up because the chamber is very good right now.
So if I put the phone in the front of the window, it will not heat as the other previous
one.
Nice.
It will be 40% cooler than that.
It's actually pretty nice.
Pretty nice, yes.
Yeah.
So that's a plus point for them.
Well, that's true. The Gemini, though I have not exactly started using it 100%, I'm testing it out here and there.
Day to day, slowly.
The whole day-to-day thing, I do it by hand. Okay. I trust myself. If I trust an AI to do my tasks.
Have you kind of done to speak or text to speak?
Like I tell them to call my contacts, basically. People I have relationships with. When you go to your own contact, you add the people who are in relationship with you: your mom, your dad, your wife, your son. I think.
Obviously,
So that's how the phone itself recognizes people who are related to you. It's like saying, "Call my wife, call my dad, call my mom." It knows.
And it kind of developing with you. To add to one more thing, the lenses that they have given this time, you would think that the camera module is bigger, but no, the rings are just aesthetic. So they are not part of the module. So the focal lenses are not that bigger as you've imagined. Just to add to it, I just remembered it now. So they might have work on that. There are plenty of developing room for Samsung. They should do something momentally, otherwise they will lose the race and they might come below other brands since Huawei is catching up much faster. It's good or bad for the consumer that it's boycotted in America, but it would have chased Samsung down if it was open for all consumers. So Samsung, please buckle up
And based on my opinion, I'm gonna wait a couple of years for real until I can actually buy a better phone. My last phone before the Z Flip 5 was 12 Pro Max.
Okay, so that was too.
Right. And I bought the 12 Pro Max when it first came out or so. Alright?
Okay.
So when did the 12 Pro Max come out? 2022, 21?
No. Before that.
Before that, huh? Because it's 4 years, so you never know. 20?
16, 17. It was way back.
You see my point? Yeah. Then I switched to Flip 5. Then now I switched to 25 Ultra. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a couple of years until you
switch
until you tell me which is the best time to switch.
Yeah, then I'll tell you the switch it.
I'm not as well versed in tech news as Ramiz is. So
plus an Android, he's not an Android guy, so he wouldn't.
I'm an Android user now, but in terms of news, I go to Ramiz for this. For real.
Okay, so to wrap it up, we discussed Samsung S25 Ultra, S24 Ultra, Vivo, other players in the market, the iPhone, and
geo-blocking,
the locations where some things are available. It's not good for the consumers, but companies do it. We can't help it, and so that's more us. This is from us. And if you have any thoughts from your end, write it in comments. Tell us which phone you like to buy in the future, which you're excited for. There are plenty of phones coming out this year. There are some launches in February, so you can tell us which model you're looking forward to, and if it's good to switch to S25 Ultra or any other model. Tell us in the comment section.
If you want to see more tech and geek news, make sure to check our channel, Qatartainment, and check out Geek Week as well, hosted by our Ghanem Al-Kbaisi. As well as don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to get more updates and tech news from Qatartainment. We'll see you all next week for another podcast. Bye.
Bye bye.